She buried her parents, then buried her dreams, so her sister could live. When their parents died, the world fell silent. In that silence, two young sisters were left alone, under one roof. With no one to turn to, the older sister was still in school, a bright girl with dreams of her own. A future she could almost touch. But dreams don't fill empty stomachs. When hunger started knocking on their door, those dreams had to be put away. The very next morning, she quit school, not because she was weak, but because her love for her little sister demanded a sacrifice she was willing to make. Her days became a cycle of relentless work. She washed clothes for neighbors in the morning, sold food on a street corner in the afternoon, and cleaned offices late into the night. Her hands grew rough and tired. Her back started to ache, bent by a burden too heavy for her young shoulders. But every single night, before sleep finally took her, she would close her eyes and pray, "God, please, let my sister succeed. Let her finish school. Let her life be better than mine." And her prayers were answered. The younger sister went to school every day in a clean uniform, her fees always paid on time, her books always ready. She never had to worry about where her next meal would come from, because her older sister made sure she never had to. Years passed, and the younger sister graduated with flying colors. The tiny house filled with a joy it hadn't known for a long time. Tears of pride and relief streamed down both their faces. The older sister looked at her, a radiant smile spreading across her weary face, and whispered, "My sacrifice was worth it." And then, life began to change. The younger sister got a good job in the city. Soon after, she started her own company. Success came quickly, money flowed in, and with it came respect and a new circle of friends. The small world she once shared with her sister started to fade into the background. The daily calls became weekly, then monthly. Visits home turned into quick, hurried stops. Soon, even text messages were met with excuses about being too busy, about meetings and deadlines. The distance grew, not just in miles, but in heartbeats. One day, the older sister fell sick. After years of hard labor and neglecting her own health, her body finally gave out. She had no savings, no insurance, nothing but a house full of memories and a heart full of love for a sister who was now a world away. With a trembling hand, she dialed her sister's number. It rang and rang. No answer. She tried again. Voicemail. Days later, a neighbor finally managed to get through. The message was urgent. "Your sister is in the hospital." The younger sister dropped everything and rushed there, a cold fear gripping her heart. But she was too late. The woman who had been her mother, her father, her everything, the woman who had raised her, was gone, on the sterile hospital bed. Next to where her sister had taken her last breath, she found an old, worn-out notebook. Her hands shook as she opened it. The pages were filled with her sister's familiar handwriting. It was a journal of prayers, of dates marking small victories: her graduation, her first job, the day she started her company, and on the very last page, one final, heart-wrenching line was written: "I don't need anything from her. I just hope she remembers that I loved her." That night, surrounded by the symbols of her success, the beautiful apartment, the expensive car, the awards on her shelf, everything felt empty. The money felt useless, and a deep, gut-wrenching regret became her new, lifelong companion. Some people spend their lives watering the garden of your future, only to die thirsty in the silence of being forgotten. Will you remember those who sacrificed for you before it's too late? Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, please like and subscribe for more.